Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Hi, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I'm Darren, joined, as always, by my fellow Strandies, Philip and Daniel. Philip and Daniel, have either of you watched anything? Daniel, is your rewatch coming along? Are you up to A's?
Or out of the numbers
maybe?
yet?
Yeah.
It is coming along, though I hadn't, technically, but I didn't watch anything this
So you
week.
just
You
thought
about it.
Exactly. But, I gotta get back on it. I really do. The thing is, here's what distracted me this week. There was
So the
news.
entire week, something distracted you from watching
someone was
one
jangling
40-minute episode.
Someone was jangling keys. You know how Daniel is.
Oh, yeah.
The news came out that Arrested Development Season 5 is imminent.
Season 4 recut.
Season 4 is recut already.
I heard of the
available.
4 recut. I hadn't heard of the 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It
no,
was a joint
it's by
announcement.
the end of the.
Yeah.
It's by the end of the month, so.
Oh, you're doing a rewatch?
I started it.
Oh
I
my
want
gosh.
I see. So that rewatch takes priority. But, it's not like Star Trek's not on the air anymore, Daniel. It is. I mean, not
And by
the
the
Next
time
Generation.
Discovery Season 2 comes out, because it's not coming out until like next year, right in the beginning of the year.
Then you'll
I will
rewatch
watch-
all of Enterprise and first season Discovery. Is that how you're going to do it?
and all of TOS. At
No,
that
no,
point.
spoilers.
No. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. So yeah, I'm a little behind, but I will get there. I just had to take a little bit of a break.
I see. And now you've
Plus Avengers and all that sort of stuff. Like
Philip?
I've been doing Marvel stuff.
No, it's totally
now you've
fine.
realized
I mean,
you've
it's
made
not like-
a huge mistake.
Oh, speaking of, I mean, it's perfect. There was, you know what? I won't say. It's not a huge thing, but I won't say. Sorry,
Well, I just finished reading Assimilation. There's a 2 next to it, so I'm going to assume it's squared. Assimilation Squared, Volume 1, the compilation of the Doctor Who, Star Trek, The Next Generation, Borg, Cybermen story from, I guess, a year ago or 2 years. I can't remember. But anyway, it was the 11th Doctor, so I guess that's probably several years ago at this point. But anyway, and so it was interesting. I guess without going spoilers, I just posted it on Goodread, my review. It was okay. The art was kind of okay, but there was kind of a cool part. This I don't think it's spoilerly. It's just a cool part where it's the 11th Doctor is on the Enterprise D, and they're talking about the Cybermen, and suddenly there's a flashback to, he's like, oh, the Doctor, wait, there's some log entry about the Cybermen. It's from the Enterprise, James Kirk Enterprise, and there's a flashback.
Of course, it's James Kirk's Enterprise.
And it's a flashback. I mean, in the flashback, they change art. It almost looks animated, the style, but it's so much more like primary color, appropriate for TOS. And it's the 4th Doctor meeting James Kirk and the Cybermen, and it's old Cybermen too. So it's almost like era specific. But anyway,
Although, technically, shouldn't it be like the 42nd Doctor that meets Kirk, and then like the 58th Doctor that meets Picard? Because
apparently you don't know how time and space works there.
Can you imagine the temporal police agents meeting with one of the doctors? Like,
the man's a menace.
I have to ask you, Philip. Even if this you say you somewhat enjoyed it, I don't know if you were disappointed or whatever, but like that's 2 of your major fandoms coming together in a semi-official way. Like, was it kind of really exciting? Like, did they throw in some bits for someone like you are the target audience for a Star Trek Doctor Who crossover?
Well, I think because it was so much setting up the story in Volume 1, there wasn't a lot of character interactions. Like, there's a cool one when the Doctor meets Guinan.
Oh, okay, cool.
okay,
Yeah, I can see that.
that makes more sense.
And so there's a little,
which Doctor?
fellow...
like the first Doctor?
No, this is the 11th Doctor that's features in this.
Oh, okay.
So he has Amy and Rory are the companions here, and so, yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's definitely cool.
Does where do they park the TARDIS? Is it in
no,
the shuttle
the
bay?
fun part is This is how this starts. It's not a spoiler. But anyway, so I'm trying to remember how I read this first because I read it from two different perspectives. Like, 'cause there was a preview and I read it, so I'm trying to remember. I think what happens is basically they decide, the Enterprise crew decides there's like new upgrades to the holodeck, and so Picard's like, I want to try a new Dixon, Hill story. So they go into the holodeck and they bring like Riker and Data or whatever, and the TARDIS appears in the holodeck. And when the Doctor and Amy Ward come out, they think they're in San Francisco, and so they're like, and it ends up the Doctor seeing, oh look, there's an android in a pinstripe suit, and like, and the and the Enterprise crew's like, oh man, the holodeck's messing up. These guys think they're sentient, and so he's like, computer in program, and it's like, shh, and it's just the TARDIS and the Doctor, and they're like, oh wait,
that's pretty awesome. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, here we go, guys. Future idea for all three of us. Philip, you could create your own story with Doctor Who crossover with TNG, or not TNG, excuse me, Star Trek. Darren, we could do it. We could do a Star Trek, Star Wars crossover.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they have to be brought in somehow. And the Scooby-Doo gang.
I'll handle the Ninja Turtles. I'll absolutely volunteer.
See, now,
that. So
I'm actually curious what you would ever picture a Star Wars, Star Trek crossover, because, the same, I mean, not as same, but to an extent, which Star Trek do you choose? Which Star Wars era do you choose? Do you go classic, TOS meets, classic trilogy, or, what do you do? And so...
This is when Darren needs a break.
Want to just say what you said again, Philip?
Oh, we didn't say anything.
Oh. Yeah, you'd have to pick the timeline. Although Star Wars doesn't really cover a lot of time, if you think about it. Like, from the beginning of the prequels to the end of, the most recent one, it's only like... It's
2 generations.
Luke's life's... Yeah, it's like 2 generations, which is really not that much.
But it's 3 eras at this point.
Well, just true.
Well, I don't know. What do you... Now that we're going to have Solo, what, and then how does that count? That's sort of era 1.5?
Well, Solo takes place 10 years before A New Hope, so it's like
Discovery,
right in the middle between. Yeah, exactly, just like Discovery.
Is it also very smudgy, iffy, kind of 10-ish years?
I mean, who knows how the Falcon gets around with that new spore drive, but somehow it does.
So is it going to be watch Solo, everyone, and then make your Discovery Solo crossover?
Well, I didn't watch any Star Trek this week, but I did watch some classic Mission Impossible Season 5
with
from
Leonard
1970,
Nimoy.
Which does have Leonard Nimoy at the same time just about as his time on Star Trek. So it is really interesting seeing
cheating.
A person that talks and has the voice of Spock, but yet is obviously human. So it's an interesting mix. But it's always enjoyable. I always enjoyed these seasons that he was in. He was in like 2 or 3 seasons total of the 7-season run. But that's not Star Trek, which is what this podcast is about. So, guys, I don't know if you knew, but Disneyland is getting a Star Wars land called Galaxy's Edge. And it's because it's all things Disney and Star Wars right now. That's what happens when you spend $4 billion on something. I mean, I don't...
Oh, wait a minute. Darren, they may have spent $4 billion on it. They've certainly made that back times 10 at this point.
First week.
So, yeah, I think they're okay. It's not like, they're okay.
We're waiting for our return on investment.
Yeah.
The Seward's folly of Hollywood.
But yeah, so I wanted to pitch a hypothetical that in this supposed CBS Paramount fix that's coming up, I mean,
it's like we're Busch Gardens by Star Trek.
Yeah. So What would you guys picture, or what would you
Six
put
Flags
into...
over Enterprise.
Yeah, pretty much. So, not just a land, but a whole park that is Star Trek. I mean, we've talked about the Star Trek experience. We've talked about, escape rooms at conventions, but we got to think bigger than that. Trek is back. Everyone's gobbling up the spore drive like gangbusters. It's only a matter of time before we build an entire theme park somewhere on this planet.
There was I don't know whatever happened. The King of Jordan, big Trekkie, has been on Star Trek. Had plans. I don't know if that whatever happened to that. He was in Abu. I don't know. Or I'm trying to remember where it was. Qatar. I can't remember. But he was planning on doing that. I don't know if whatever happened to that idea.
I do remember hearing that. Wasn't he on like an Enterprise episode?
He was on Voyager.
Or was it Next Gen? He was on Voyager.
Yeah. I think he was. That's when he was just the prince. But
so there are two things here. First of all, even before that, I believe. There were plans to build a life-size replica of the Enterprise.
That's right, in Vegas.
The refit in Vegas.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Like architectural plans. Like they were actually going to do this as an attraction. First of all, that would have been amazing.
Yes.
That would be the way to go. I would say if you're gonna do it that way. Make something big and grand, and it would, oh man.
Well, it would almost be like, and I don't know, Darren, you're the Disney expert. But it would almost be like that could be Epcot, the Enterprise, and then you'd have, Klingon land, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
That's true. So we could do it like with planets as the lands, and you could go to the Klingon homeworld or Earth.
I parked in Andoria.
I guess Earth would kind of be.
Yeah,
I guess Earth would kind of be the lame planet because it's kind of the planet you're already on. Or it's the biggest.
Look, everything would be nice and clean. It'd be like Canada, basically, the Earth land.
So, are you saying we have to build this on the Canadian border, and so that?
You could do it in
Canada?
Vulcan, Canada.
That's true.
You could, but really, where should we do it?
I don't know. There's so many things.
A missile complex in central Montana. I don't know.
Oh, actually, you know what? That's great.
I feel like
I was going to say,
from a natural resources standpoint, I think we should ruin the Big Sky National Park or whatever.
I was going to say that Disneyland is in where is it? Anaheim, right?
Anaheim. Yeah.
So
San Francisco is what
Trek,
you're saying.
Star Trek Land would be as close to obviously not in the city proper, but even Star Trek couldn't afford rent prices at that. But I actually like your idea better, Darren. Stick it in the middle of nowhere. Make it a tourist attraction.
You know where you could put it, honestly, and I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but like a lot of the Midwest or West that doesn't have anything, like North Dakota, right? Nothing there. Because South Dakota has Mount Rushmore. So North Dakota, you want to get it on the map, you want tourist, Star Trek.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do that. No, you would put it in Montana where there's already an actual Star Trek.
Is there a statue
event.
though?
Well, we build the statue, and then you just leave like a portion, and you have the First Contact land, and it's basically just the forest.
Yeah,
they have the land.
Now the bad part is at First Contact land there are no indoor toilets. So
I would think an alternate plan B would be somewhere in Iowa, but you can only work there.
Well, that's you could have the life-size Enterprise in Iowa. When we saw it build it there, right?
Yeah,
Iowa known for its starship building.
Yeah, it's true.
Even though
a lot of union.
if people don't realize, you can't jump to conclusions. You can't think it's just a San Francisco and California. Obviously, San Francisco yards met San Francisco, Iowa. That's why they're building the Enterprise within Kirk's motorcycle distance. So
I like the idea that we're building it in Montana.
Okay, there we go.
I think let's just do Montana. It makes sense. It's got land.
Lordy.
And again, like when Disneyland built in Anaheim, there was nothing there. It was just an exit on the 5 freeway. Yeah, and Disney stretching his hand. Actually, there's a statue of him.
Wait, now just imagine a statue of Mickey with like arms stretched out.
Got some blueprints, and he's got that hat. He's got that hat on that Zephyr Cochrane always wears.
I'm just imagining drunk Mickey, but anyway.
All right, so we're in Montana. Great, not too bad. Weather shouldn't be too bad. And we already have our first contact area. We can have the Phoenix motion simulator ride. Yeah, basically like trip to slightly away from Earth and back. Or maybe the moon.
Well, I can see like
maybe,
First Contact Land would be for your more like, and there's not many of them.
Maybe it's like the entryway.
Well, you're more of your outdoorsy trekkers, which I know is not a lot. But you'll get to hike, you enjoy the nature, you get outside, and then you'd have some Vulcans running, walking around. They'd have great drink selection. The bar would be really good. And then you'd move into the more.
It's perfect. Yeah, you have First Contact Land. That's your campground.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
For everybody
perfect.
That's coming there to
RVs
spend
and
a week. Yeah, exactly. And it fits the theme, right?
Yeah.
And then you can have First Contact events and stuff like that out there, and the First Contact swimming hole or whatever.
Well, I do like that because
the pea bush, the leek bush.
Yeah, it's sort of an iconic entrance, because that's where you begin is First Contact. That's where everything starts. And so even if you're not exploring the trails of First Contact Land, that's sort of everyone the statue is sort of the main thing, and then you go from there.
Let's see, I see it as like that's the RV camper entrance, but the main entrance has got to be like Starfleet Academy, like Starfleet. Because that's where it all begins.
That would be my argument for making it in San Francisco, but obviously you wouldn't be able to.
Well, no. I'm just talking about like the park. Like we're building it like Disneyland, and it has like the entry area, and that's
how many lands
like
do we
Starfleet
have? What's
Academy.
Our quota? How many? So we don't go over.
Let's do 5 or 6. I guess.
All right. I only have one hand, so I'll do 5. That I'm holding up. So, all right. So, First Contact Land, we got that. You can do. There's a lot of stuff we can do, but it's done for now. So, I think you have to. I guess have to do a Klingon land, right?
You'd have to.
Yeah, you have to do a
right.
Klingon land.
So that gives you 3 to play with in the Star Trek universe. Okay, and then so I mean we can go into detail. I'm just doing really rough sketches here. I mean TOS. TNG, DS9 Voyager.
But see,
I'm not saying
like
the eras,
I'd say the park it'd be better if it was set up as like this nexus fracture in time and space where like it's not.
Why would you just fly into it with a ship?
Or just build a theme park around it. And so yeah, I don't know do we want to split up the land by era or
I mean, Darren, and I assume Disney is someone is like a stopwatch with how precise things are and how what do they call the people that walk? There's a name, right, for the costume people that walk around. Anyway,
the cast members,
yeah.
Employees.
No, they haven't. Cast members. Like so, the cast member, like it could at a certain time switch. Like like I'm making this up. Like 9 to noon, TOS, and then like noon to 6, TNG, whatever, TNG Voyager, whatever,
or maybe different days of the week or something like that. Yeah, that could be
TOS Tuesdays, guys.
Here's my idea, and
it could be TNG Thursdays.
No, every other day. I mean, of course. Why would you just? Yeah.
So here's my idea, and tell me if you go with this. You build a replica or an exaggerated version, I suppose, of the promenade from Deep Space Nine.
The entire promenade.
That's
not
your
just
hub.
a third.
That's where literally all your shops and
makes
restaurants
sense.
and all that sort of stuff is.
Right.
And then you say you use the Nexus or some sort of temporal anomaly, whatever. Each spoke that leaves. Exactly.
We got 3 spokes. So
Oh no, I can see it. The promenade's the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
The hub,
that's
like you
that's the
said, right.
center
The hub.
of the land, and it's Deep Space Nine themed. And then of course each little, you go into
First Contact Land,
First Contact area, or you go into the TOS area, or whatever Klingon area. Every time you leave the promenade, you're going into a different
one of the
location.
hubs could be a ride to another area. In other words, it's going to be like you're on a runabout, and you're going to go through the wormhole, and that'll take you to X land.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
Or maybe the runabout's like the train that takes you around the entire park
That's
on the
fine, yeah.
perimeter.
That
We're
would be cool.
basically building Disneyland, but Star Trek. I mean, we're not ashamed to say that.
I don't
But
care
yeah.
what other lands. There's one thing I do require out of
They're
our
called
Star Trek
quadrants, not lands.
One thing that is absolutely necessary is bridge sets, bridge places that you can play on. You can take pictures. You can go in there with a group. However they separate it, you are in the scenario, and you get to play a scenario in those. So you go into the Enterprise D bridge, and you get to play out Best of Both Worlds with your friends and stuff like that.
Well,
It's
you'd
easily
have
doable.
you'd have like number of stations, and so 12 or something, people
Sure,
at a time, and you'd be like, all right, how many do you have in your party? Okay, how many do you have in your party? Okay, go, boom, and then.
So just like Wesley in Encounter at Farpoint, you go up the turbo lift and you're open down to this. But this is a screen accurate bridge because this is a theme park, and you can easily spend the money to do it and have some sort of interactive game with your group where you're trying to solve.
And they could build all of the bridges underground, so you're actually going down a turbo lift.
Sure, yeah,
And that you can.
Yeah,
You can just rack and stack.
and when
them.
the torpedo hits the bridge and it suddenly shakes and things are falling, that's when they take your picture, that you'll see on the screen.
yeah.
Nice, yeah. So bridge simulator, nice.
Well, bridge simulators or bridges simulators. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, so I mean, you have. I don't know how many you want. I mean, you could do. I mean, we have no budget, right? You can do how many you want. So you're gonna have your TOS and TNG definitely, and then I don't know what else. I mean, are we?
Well, then you have the promenade so you don't really need ops.
No one
I mean,
needs
ops wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
The Defiant, if you wanted to.
I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but okay. Seems really small.
I mean, I'd say Enterprise. I mean, Enterprise has got like a nice look.
I mean, I like Voyager. I'm just don't know
smaller
if
groups.
that's going to be the.
No, there's no excuse not.
You want
Guys,
all
we're
of them?
building this bridge in
Oh,
our
all of them.
imagination. We're going to include
Except
every single
Discovery,
bridge.
it's too big. Can't afford it.
Even in Discovery,
Too
we'll
big,
include
can't afford it.
So
Okay, all the bridges.
2 bridges.
7
God,
bridges.
this line is going to be so long to wait for that. But anyway, okay.
Well, no, you'd pre book it like a
reservation,
like a party
yeah.
event. Yeah, you'd have to do it like that. And you could have like single rider walk ups or something, but
every and here's the thing, right? The resort, because we hear this criticism
Risa?
and this.
what do
No.
you mean resort? We have the trailer RV parking in the First Contact land. That's all we need.
If you
Daniel.
wanted to stay in a hotel room, that all looks. Every suite looks like the Enterprise D crew quarters.
Oh yes.
Very subdued.
And all
there's been a lot of man. It's like, it's okay. Kind of.
All the corridors, everything. See, man, this is the most exciting thing about this. Everything
Ooh,
is Star
what
Trek.
about each floor is a different?
Yeah, I was
ship.
gonna say each.
you could
each
do that too.
I could like it if you set for your
Yeah.
alarm in the morning. If you could set it, it just goes off red alert at like.
Yeah. But yeah, so if each floor was one of the main series ships, that way, if you wanted, because I mean, yeah, like I see what you're saying because it was the most
Comfortable.
luxurious. But if you were
No
a
one's
TOS fan, of course
no
you'd
one's
wanna
picking
stay
the
in that
NOx-01 quarters.
I was going to say nobody would want to sleep, but you would.
The
you would
economy
just
plan
adjust
is that what it is?
You would just adjust the design
No,
for
yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you would make the room bigger, but you would still have that aesthetic.
Right.
Right.
And yeah, you
Ooh,
could tier them.
think
It's
about it. So
dangerous,
cool. Like
but-
it at night or whenever, because right, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. Suddenly the stars just go to war every now and then.
Oh, that would be
Ooh.
cool.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That would be super cool. And every
And
every
black
room-
alert, guys. It could be like weird
The
drippy
water goes-
stuff
rises
coming out
up.
of the walls.
But every room would have like an LCARS sort of panel where you could
Yeah.
control your temperature. You could call for room
Would you
service.
basically have that tech now? I mean, that's not even a
No,
stretch
it's a
to
tablet in the wall
theme
but
it.
Yeah.
You could even, I mean, if you really wanted to spend some
Room
money,
service
You could-
would be like a little panel on the other side, and it'd be like, and they'd like flip the thing over, and your food would be there.
you could easily you could easily reprogram an Alexa or a Google Home to be like computer. And
I've done that already. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be cool if there was a locked panel that went to the hallway that only like housekeeping could access. So that way, if you did order something, rather than take it to your door, like
yeah.
a normal
we're
hotel,
replicating this.
They put it in the special slot, and then they push a button, and then it's like your replicator energy ration has been allocated, and then it like spits it out.
Yeah,
Like
it'd be easy with the TOS.
Someone's
you
really
have to lift
mad
the
that
drawer
it's taking
in
30
TOS,
minutes.
So. Yeah.
There's tribbles in my chicken soup.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Included with your thing would be a bunch of tribbles falling out of your slot when you open it up.
The tribble would be like a whipped dessert that like looks, and then you just eat it.
Hey.
Well, okay, maybe no.
Oh yeah, the food there would be awesome, or at least the menu would be awesome.
I mean, yeah, because not only do you have the promenade, but you have like Cisco's Creole food.
Well, that would be one of the restaurants. You'd have Cisco's.
Yeah, of course.
Fine dining.
And then you just, I mean, and then Avery Brooks would just live there. You know, he'd be.
Totally like
fine.
You guys would be like, we'd be sitting there going like, you know what, that piano player looks a lot like Avery Brooks. Oh my God, that's Avery Brooks. What the? This has a tip jar there.
He wasn't doing anything for the last decade, so.
Just don't talk to him.
And you could have a convention center so that when you have the best Star Trek convention
24/7 Trek convention.
Oh God.
Constantly in Trekland.
What you would do is you'd model it after the scene in the Enterprise finale.
I thought you were going to say Galaxy Quest.
I thought you were too.
No. I can't remember the name of the God, what is
These
it called?
Are the Voyages?
These are the Voyages. Yeah. That hall, and you could model it after that.
Talking about the giant hall where they're like
signing the charter.
signing the Federation
where
charter?
the foundation of the Federation was founded. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
You have an animatronic Doug Drexler in the back.
Things would have been different.
Okay, so what are the lands? Because I think we still have 2 or 3 left.
So we haven't really talked about. We said we're gonna do it, but we haven't talked about.
I'm not
Klingon
a fan
land.
of Klingon land,
So
but I mean, whatever.
It's dark and smoky and red. We know that.
You get there'll be a lot of personal battles you can get engaged with.
well, what if instead of Klingon land, it was like?
Look, I'm saying
like
I don't like it, but I know everyone else would.
Alien land.
Yeah, it would kind of be expected out of a.
What if it was like a Klingon outpost so you saw other aliens, like basically like the one we saw in Discovery?
I mean, you could do that. That's fine.
That's
that
true.
wouldn't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think Klingon land would be unnecessary. I think Borg land would be something else.
No. Every I don't know. Every now and then, Borgs would invade. Borgs. That's not how you say it. The Borg would invade Starfleet land. Terror Tuesdays, guys.
Terror Tuesdays. Assimilation
Exactly.
is coming.
Yes. There you go. Starfleet land here in Six Flags Over Enterprise. This April, the Borg are taking over.
Well, they can only take over in August and April.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
that's how
Because there's going to be a lot of money in the special effects for the Borg. They just do it 2 times a year. It's fine.
Lots of lasers when the Borg show up.
So you have the operatic accordion player. For
the Klingon
land.
restaurant.
You
right?
would, the Klingon restaurant.
There's the food there,
and
man.
you would
have some sort of cold noodles as.
It would just be the best barbecue ever. I know they don't eat that, but like that's just what
You'd have your Targ petting zoo.
No,
and
it's
that
that dog with the horn.
The dog with the horn.
No, that would be cool because that would be kind of Klingon because with them conquering thing, you could have a good petting zoo in Klingon land with all sort of the bizarre alien animals.
I'm trying
something
to
for the kids. It'd be the Klingon Kids Corner with kids with a Z.
Something green from Focus 3. Now, what kind of... Now, so they're actually also doing a Star Wars resort in Orlando. And that I've heard that you actually can like book a package where you're like, we are rebels for this week, and like stuff happens, like it's basically
little RPG-ish.
like a little RPG-ish, an adventure, and I'm like, we could totally do that.
The landing party package.
The landing party
That's a good one.
package.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The there'd be the like Starfleet, the Kobayashi Maru package.
Oh, I think the Kobayashi Maru would definitely be an exhibit, at least an attraction for sure.
That's right. That would almost be like their escape room version. Like, can you?
And you could
Yeah, I
have the
would
actual
love for the
holodeck. You
Kobayashi-
could have like HoloLens.
Yeah, I would love for the Kobayashi Maru to be a serious. There would be one way to get out of the Kobayashi Maru, but nobody would really be able to figure it out, sort of thing. Like, this is technically completable, but it's terribly, terribly frustrating.
But I could imagine that the holodeck or holosuite, whichever, if that's just off the promenade hub, or if that's part of whatever one of the Starship lands or TOS lands, that's the version of like you go to any restaurant, like Mexican or whatever, and then like the kids menu is like, yeah, we know they're not going to eat this, so here's some hamburgers and hot dogs. A holodeck land is just going to have like non-star, because it's a holodeck program, right? It could be anything you want. So it's like, if your kids or whoever you're with don't want anything Star Trek, whatever. Here's a Ren Fair. It's something, just whatever, right? That's not Star Trek related in holodeck decks. You just do something non-Star Trek at holodeck.
Yeah, no, I think it would also be like you could do it almost like an expo. So you'd have like sponsors instead of just like sponsoring the fireworks. They would sponsor like the tech. So you'd have like people doing the HoloLens, and VR would do the holodecks, and they're wanting to.
That could be their
increase.
museum of yesteryear, and it's all future technology of now, where that you could have that technology expo,
like these crude
animal skins and whatever.
Yeah,
Stone
yeah. These crude VR headsets had to be worn by the person to track them. Let's try them out. And of course, for us, we're like, oh my gosh, this is super cutting edge. And like, it's no holodeck, but I mean, what is?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, what would be?
So we need our last land. We haven't.
Yeah, what are our two Starfleet lands? Like, I know we got the bridge simulation or the bridges, and that could be. I mean, is it like a Starfleet land, or is that just like, I don't know? Do we have our 23rd and 24th century lands, or I don't know. Give me, you're the Disney expert, Darren. What do they have in these places? Like, we haven't really talked about like any rides,
That's true. Well, we talked about like some simulators, and we need a coaster. We need like what would our coaster be?
Like something to put our glasses on?
Roller coaster.
What if it was?
What if the galactic barrier?
Like
there
a
you go.
barrier?
That's
I was
it.
thinking booby trap. Picard navigating out of the asteroid field. That could be interesting.
Q's continuum.
I was wondering how how he would manifest himself.
Oh, bizarrely, I don't know why this came into my head. It's like the kids' corner. I already know the Klingons' kids' corner, but that was the petting zoo. Q's like continuum would just be like like inflatables and ball pits and all that stuff. Because Q's kitty's corner is alliterative despite it being a Q.
Heyo. He's got jokes, folks.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other moments, but
what would be your TOS thing?
ride.
What would be your, whether it's TOS land or whatever?
it's got to be Trouble with Tribbles.
Dun, dun, dun,
I mean, that's the
K7?
K7, yeah.
That could be
Yeah,
okay.
if you're-
I'm almost trying to think like and I don't know. I know this maybe isn't necessarily a.
You get your Klingons, you get your Enterprise, and you get your station and food.
Well, I'm almost picturing a carnival, which I know maybe is wrong for Disney type layout, but I'm a carnival like all these different sort of like it'd be like the Tribble shoot. Maybe that'd be in Klingon land, but like phaser training or
do they still sing songs of the Great Tribble Hunt?
Yeah,
or...
Oh well, I mean,
What
there'd
I'm
be a lot of gaming. I mean,
what I'm interested in too is the merchandise that we're going to get here, right?
Where the real money from the movie is made.
So if they are going to be at this point offering presumably screen accurate or close to props and costumes, I imagine losing $1 bazillion at this place.
credits.
Oh, yes. All they have to
God.
do is unlock the "Just Live Here" package, and then you just got it.
I would get every comm badge instantly. I would get 3 or 4 uniforms instantly. Like, and if we're talking like $250, $300, $400, I'd probably
Like, let's
still
just
spend
go
it.
full Westworld with this. Like just bring down the illusion and just go full in.
Yeah.
Yeah, except there'd be all that boring waiting to get to the planet at warp. So
That's true.
engage. All right. Well, I'll run a
Yeah.
level 2 diagnostic on my panel, I guess.
Is there a commercial break? What is that?
That guy is
I don't even know what a level
clearly
2
playing
is.
Galaga on his environmental ops.
That would be funny. Well, and then, I was trying to think of like another Federation planet we might want to visit, but it's hard to think. Like, I don't really want to visit Vulcan or Romulus.
Andor, yeah.
Yeah. There's not.
Ryza.
Well, I was going to ask earlier if there's going to be an adult section or not. I know
Yeah.
I know
Ryza.
Disney doesn't do that, I'm sure.
No, Disney does. It's Disney. What's it called? Disney. Oh God.
After Dark, no.
No, Disney. Darren, what's it called?
Are you talking about like a area?
Yeah, no, they have their Disney downtown. Downtown Disney, is that what it's called?
Well, that's downtown Disney's just like the open to the public. You're not in the park yet.
Then
like mall.
I'm getting it wrong. There's definitely
that's
an
connected
adult
to it.
Not adult, not like adult.
XXX.
But there's a Disney area that's for adults, not
I
for
mean,
kids.
there are some restaurants and places that like serve alcohol and have more, adult focus.
Like, that's not the default. I mean, this really isn't actually for kids. Let's just be honest. You can bring your kids. That's fine. But,
But yeah, I don't think they have anything that's specific. I mean, there's like Club 33, which is like exclusive.
What's it called? The Enterprise bar on Earth. 602 Club.
Oh, 602 Club. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I would almost get a call from Disney. That's so close. But yeah,
that's
we
a
could have the 602 Club.
that's an area code reference, right?
I
Oh, San
guess. I'm not
Francisco?
sure where
I
the
didn't even think about
602
that.
the 602
Oh no,
came
it's
from.
not. It's in fact area code 602 is in Arizona.
Uh,
What is the 602 a reference?
I assume
to?
it's a flight
I
thing,
don't know.
but I don't know.
Maybe they added, a couple numbers to 501. Who knows? Yeah, I never knew why it was called 602. Again, I didn't watch, or I haven't talked a ton about Enterprise, but all right. So we got our hotel resort, we got our camping options, we have merchandise coming out of our ears. We're holding a perpetual con in the convention center. It's actually not even like a convention center, like in the sense that it's like a big room. It's like everything's built into the walls and permanent because it's always going. Nothing's temporary.
I'm trying. What would be like the evening entertainment places? Like you go, I don't know what would. There's we don't have a lot of Star Trek bands, do we? I mean, I'm not talking 5-Year Mission. I'm talking about in the universe.
Yeah, there's a couple that play like during weddings and stuff, and have
Classic concert
strange
after
alien
classic
sounds.
concert after classic.
Oh gosh.
I mean, the Klingon opera. I don't know.
could do
It's not really
that.
my cup of
Be
Earl Grey.
Shakespeare in the Park. Put
there
on.
you go. Yeah.
Apparently,
Well,
the 602
Go ahead.
the 602 Club was named for a bar near the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where Rick Berman went. So
So that's disappointing.
So who
Yeah.
cares? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I was trying to think.
I knew there was a reason. I just didn't know what the reason was.
Would it be? And I don't know where you would put this. And I'm not saying necessarily it would, per se would appeal to any of us, but would you want to have like the Prophet's Temple and then like stuff like that? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, the less Ferengi stuff, the better.
That's the Bajorans. I didn't say the
I'm
Prophet's
sorry.
Corner.
I was
the
thinking
Prophets.
I was thinking like Defined Treasury or something like that. But, yeah, it's like, oh look, here's we're recovering from our occupation. Yay!
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I think you guys actually. I don't know why we did all this.
There would be a great.
This.
I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know what the gambling status is in Montana, but you could have a good poker game going somewhere.
Oh yeah, Dabo.
Dabo.
The house would always
Ooh,
win
Dabo.
because it's not a real game.
Fizbin.
But guys, I don't know why we thought so much about this. It already exists in Star Trek. It's called Paradise City.
Nimbus 3.
The planet of intergalactic peace. So we just have to copy that, and everybody's going to want to show up and have a good time.
Yeah, probably not, though.
No, not really. Yeah. I feel like
That's
you
what
could
I get
probably
for making a
put
Star
it
Trek
over
5
in First
reference.
Contact Land with the RVs in the middle of the desert. Or in Montana, I mean, just,
Where no one would visit.
where no man has
Yeah,
gone
see,
before.
that's cool because you have like the treed area, and it's First Contact Land, and then just outside of it is the desert, and that's just Vulcan.
You could have
Or at
a
least
Gorn wrestling,
Arid.
you know.
Do we want to add an attached water park?
Yes. Yes.
For Captain
Yes.
Captain Flipper's attached water
Oh
park.
no, that'd be the kitty part with Flotter, whatever his name is.
Flipper.
No.
Oh yeah, no, Flotter.
Oh no! Wait, what's the episode of Voyager where Tom Paris gets
I know what you're talking about.
Demoted.
31 days.
31 days? That pun.
Yeah.
You can do that pun.
But anyway, you'd have Flotter's flipping corner. I don't know. But yeah, definitely yes, water park. I'm not saying because I think guys, when you think of Montana, what do you think of? Water parks.
Water.
Yeah, I mean that's the first thing
I
that
actually
comes
would
to
say-
my mind. But
I would think that.
I think the West
A
is
water
known
park-
for having too much water and not knowing what to do with it.
I would think that the water park could easily be Risa themed, very easily.
that's true. But yeah, no, I think I don't really see this coming to fruition. I mean, parks are pretty expensive, but I think I would just take a perpetual convention. That's all I really need. I don't need any of that other stuff. Just bring all the fans together.
Yeah, well, it's all about having the environment, like having I guess in the recent Trek news, quote unquote, and as much as it is news, is William Shatner visited the Ticonderoga.
Right.
That's not how you pronounce that. TOS set,
The bridge, the bridge sets.
which I mean that's cool, right? Because I'm just from the pictures I've seen, it's like you're on the original TOS Enterprise, and so that would be cool.
I mean, I'm sure he enjoyed it as much as everybody else.
Yeah. So I mean, that's such a, and I mean that's how you make things. Of course, you make things and then people go there. But like going to upstate New York is such a deliberate trip you have to do. No other reason to go there unless you live there.
Hey!
Unless you live there.
Some of us may be from upstate New York, so maybe you should cool
Hey,
your jets.
I am half
Philip.
upstate New Yorkian, so go Finger Lakes. So yeah, well, maybe that needs to be our mission. Maybe one day we all go up to the TOS set together and have fun there. Put on our pajamas.
That'd be
and
cool.
there you go. Do your TOS experience.
I hear it's actually affordable if William Shatner's not there, so we just have to make sure we don't.
Which would have been my
do it on the same day.
off-season ticket anyway.
So, all right. Well, all right, guys. Well, talking about theme parks and perpetual conventions is a lot of fun, but next week, what are we going to be talking about, Philip?
Well, last week we talked about our idea for Discovery motion picture after the end of season 1, and I think it's time to go back to the source material, guys, and play and watch The Cage again. And not only just watch The Cage, like, oh, what's that episode about, but pick out what pops out from The Cage that we want to see continue, right? Let's meet these crew members again. Let's see what Number One and Captain Pike and Kelso and Dr. Boyce and all these folks are like, and we know things are going to be different.
Observe the reference material.
Yeah, so next week we're going to be watching The Cage again, not as a commentary, but we're going to come back here and tell everyone what popped out on us and what we would like to see continued from the elements that we saw on the Captain Pike Enterprise, based on The Cage. Available on Netflix.
Oh. I like it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Well, Daniel, if someone wanted to ask you if you were getting the Black Badge special package, where would they find you?
People can find me on Twitter at @OneUpDan. That's the number one, not the word. As in, San Francisco would be our first choice, but it's super unreasonably expensive, so we're going to move to Montana.
But it's Montana's gain. And Philip, if someone wanted to talk to you about your promenade layout for this central hub, where would they find you?
They can find me at NC Public Servant, and I think there may be a portion that bleeds into Canada. I think it'll be a little bit more affordable, perhaps. But anyway, actually, I don't know the exchange rate. It'll probably be more expensive.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, the economics in this quasi-future are a little different.
But you could be visiting the Discovery set, depending. It's nowhere near Montana, I know, but still.
And if someone wanted to talk to me about it's a Small World comparison.
Oh God, what would that be? What would
ship?
the Star Trek It's a Small World ride?
Small little ship.
Would it be?
It'd be small little.
It'd be the United
ship.
Federation of
It'd literally
Planets,
be tiny.
right? All the little stupid 150 aliens.
And
like,
there's Bajor, Ryza, Ferenga.
That would. Oh God, I see it. You'd see like Andoria, and you'd just go by, and it'd be Vulcan, and they'd all be kind of angrily singing at you. It's a small
and instead of like a full doll
all.
dancing, it's just a dancing forehead and nose, because that's really the only difference.
It's a small galaxy after
Oh
all.
God, I could see it.
Galaxy.
Oh God, little.
Now that we have Transwarp.
Oh, yeah, it's only that last part of the ride goes.
And yeah, it's like there's two buildings for the ride. One is in the Alpha Quadrant, and one is in like, the Gamma Quadrant.
Oh, no. All four quadrants, Darren. This thing is going all four quadrants. You're going to go back. and just when you think it's over, it's like the thing's going to go like, and then like, boom, and you're suddenly going to be in the Delta Quadrant. You're going to have the little Kazons dancing and singing at you. And then a little bit later, then you'll have the Founders and the Jem'Hadar, telling you how wonderful they are. And it'll be great.
Yeah, I feel this ride's spiraling a little bit out of control, but not too bad. But anyway, they can find me on my website, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch under Dr. Sci-Fi, DRSCIFI. I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
Stranded here at the happiest place on Montana soil.